Hello Gemini, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Gemini is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free. It does not cost you anything. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Gemini, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here's a Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles is about change, all right? It's about something is not staying the same in your life, all right? Now, everyone thinks the Five of Pentacles is a bad card, a difficult card, a challenging card, and it is, yes. But it's only through change that things happen, right? Otherwise, nothing would happen. We would stay the same. We would stay where we are. We would never advance. We would never evolve. We would never grow. We would never progress, you know. Let's put that into some context. Change is good. Change is challenging. But change also gives us the possibility for triumph, right? So the challenging nature of this five leads to this very satisfying six, right? That we are overcoming this challenge, that this change is bringing about more harmony for us. The change in the challenge of the change, bringing us success. Three of Swords, a Tower, interesting. Towers are abrupt change, right? Emperor, very interesting. Hierophant, also very interesting. Star, Queen of Swords. The Adjustment card, and the Hanged Man. Very, very interesting mix of energies today. I feel like this is an abrupt change. I feel like this is change that is happening very quickly. Okay, and the three of Swords underneath here, it's kind of a card that's saying, well, I've been here before, you know. But maybe this is the perception that this has taken a long time. Right? Maybe this is the idea that I have been the same for forever, for years. Like this is just the memory of things always kind of being this way. Change happens slowly, 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 and then fast. Right? So it may seem imperceptible at first, but then black and white, overnight change. Then things really, really happen quickly. Okay? So I think that this is something that you've been trudging along, you know, and maybe feeling as if nothing is changing, right? You ever have that feeling that we've been putting in all this effort, all this work? Obviously we have Hierophant, we have Emperor, putting in all this effort, right? All this discipline, all this control, all this work, all this training, all this study, right? Whatever it might be, but nothing seems to be happening. Well, just because we're not aware of it, just because we're not perceiving it, doesn't mean it's not actually happening, right? And I think really that's part of the cards over here. A lot of different energies. Over here we have a lot of these bright colors. We have earth and fire. Over here it's kind of water, kind of air, right? So it's just this. We're not perceiving. Over on this side, we don't really see what's going on behind the scenes. We just see we're putting in all this effort. And now, I think, now it finally feels like suddenly things are happening. I feel like this is an overnight change, but I feel like we never really thought that it would happen. We see the Three of Swords, right? We kind of said this, I've been doing the same thing for years and nothing seems like it's getting any better. Nothing seems like it's any different. And then suddenly, bam, Tower. But you've been building up karma. You've been storing up all of this energy of change, right? Things have been outside of your perception. Things have been happening underneath the surface, below the threshold of consciousness. In a more subtle and spiritual way, star card, things have been preparing for this big overnight change. Okay? Really, really major and challenging, yes. But that Six of Wands, I think, saves the day. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is the random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it here. We'll put Alien, Simon Mork Ripley right there on top. And, we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this program you feel as if you know what that card is, I want you to put your prediction down in the comments. We can do it together. We can make it a group exercise. All right. Now let's take a look here. Something interesting I find is that it's us successfully dealing with change, with challenges, that we get this kind of mastery, right? We get this Hierophant energy, that we become a leader in our life, that we evoke, we welcome, we embody the spiritual energy of the Emperor and the Hierophant. Right? The Emperor is the one that makes the decisions, and the Hierophant is the one that informs those decisions. Right? So we want to be the boss, and we want to also be the sage, right? We want to make the decisions. We want them to be the right decisions. I think that this is really a kind of success in your life. Okay? And from the chaos of the tower to the very stable rebuilding of this life on this kind of, it's like we're tearing down and we're building up. Right? Tower and Hierophant. We have to go through this process of change, and depending on how you deal with it is going to be your result. We're going to get this Hierophant. We're going to build things back up in this way that is closer to your ideal, right? Building up this sacred life. Whatever this means, this is earth energy. This could have something to do with career, with education, it could be family, but it's something tangible, right? We're tearing down this kind of this paradigm, really, right? We're tearing down this idea that I think really of the Three of Swords, that we've been doing the same thing over and over and over again. It hasn't been working. Nothing's come of it, right? And then suddenly our mind is blown, right? Our world is shattered, and we realize that all of this change has been taking place underneath the surface, right? So the tower, let's talk about that, because the tower can be kind of scary. Sometimes it feels like it's going to be a disaster. Sometimes it turns our life upside down. I don't think that this is anything necessarily disruptive for you, but I feel like it is a lot of success very quickly. See, we've got the Six of Wands leading into that Hierophant. I don't think that this is... I think it's tearing down your expectations. It's revealing the intention. It's revealing the star to you, really, right over here. I don't think this is anything negative, though it is challenging and it is disruptive, because I feel like this is an overnight change. I feel like suddenly we're going from, our kind of baseline existence, our daily stuff, our work, our expected life, kind of the predictable kind of thing, trudging along, to suddenly now I feel like you're being thrust into a role that we weren't really expecting. Right? And it's kind of like we're never really ready for it. I don't know if you're being pushed into a leadership position or even like a teaching position. I kind of feel like between these two, this is what it's about, and I don't know exactly what this is. It's a leadership, but it's also this idea of guidance. Okay. Maybe you're some kind of a motivational speaker, I don't know. But I feel like you're being thrust into this very important role in life, okay? It's an overnight kind of change. It may not even be something that you were aware of being in the cards for you. This wasn't something that you had particularly planned on, right? We're just here, we have the Three of Swords, we're doing our stuff. living our life. We're not expecting really much outside of the ordinary. But then we get the extraordinary, right? We get the emperor, we get the Hierophant. Suddenly now you find yourself CEO of a, international corporation or something. We wake up one morning and we have such a sense of duty, of responsibility, because now it feels like there are a lot of people relying on you, looking to you for answers, looking to you for leadership. And we're like, whoa, hey, like I just went to bed and suddenly I wake up and here I am. It feels like, and I don't think we ever were expecting that. And I don't know what exactly is going on, but it's rather uncanny, right? And I think that it's funny because this is fire and this is earth, right? So there's a lot of synchronicity here, but there's a disbelief. Disbelief. But this is what it's showing. There's fire and earth. And it's about our ability to just kind of step into the role, and it's you wake up in this new reality, and we could spend a lot of time trying to figure out what's going on, right? Trying to say, no, you must have the wrong person. There's been a mistake, right? The Six of Wands is asking you to step into this role as if you knew it was coming, and it's with this sense of, with pride, confidence, that, of course I'm now the Emperor and the Hierophant, like, who else would it be, How you handle all of this abrupt change in your life is going to really determine your experience of it and the outcome of it. Okay, this might be something at work, it might be something in the family, but if suddenly you're at the top of the list, okay, suddenly you're the one in the chair, you're the one in the driver's seat, you're the one that everybody is saying, okay, what do we do now? There's a sense of leadership, there's a sense of teamwork here. It could be that you've suddenly, unexpected, you've been nominated for some sort of a role or leadership thing, or to be the head of the department or for the promotion. It's like you're getting that promotion that you never applied for. You're becoming the leader that you never asked to be. But in a way, you've been kind of building this up over time, even though it hasn't felt that way. It felt like we've just been doing the same thing over and over and over again for years. But no, it's almost like someone's been noticing the hard work that you've been putting in. And the Three of Swords kind of underneath the surface, I feel like you've had a lot of complaints. You've had a lot to be kind of down about. But I don't feel that you ever really put that out there. I feel like you just kind of keep this to yourself. It's kind of like if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. You're not someone that complains, right? And I feel like, you have these thoughts and feelings of your own, and you maybe have somebody to talk to that you kind of say, well, things are just kind of humdrum, it's not going anywhere. Nothing's really happening. I put in all this work here. I put in so many years at this company, and there's no recognition, there's no promotion, there's nothing. I don't feel like you're saying that out in public, like out at the workplace, for example. And somebody, a supervisor, boss, the owner, somebody in charge, really, has noticed you and is selecting you for that highest award, that accolade. Maybe at the company party, you're going to be recognized as the employee of the year, but you're just like, I'm not doing anything special. I'm just showing up every day and not complaining. Well, to this person, that's enough, right? This is the person that can see the bigger picture. And this is the person in the environment. This is the way that you're kind of relating to the situation. I feel like somebody has noticed your almost quiet dedication. Yeah. And for whatever reason, now this might not be a particular person, maybe it's not like the boss or the supervisor, but it's just something. The universe, right? The universe has noticed and has has kind of granted you this really significant while abrupt change of your circumstances. Rags to riches, right? Extraordinary. Extraordinary. But there's a lot of responsibility, because I feel like now you are you're kind of a servant to the others in the team. So you are kind of a leader, kind of an advisor. And it feels like you are the right person for the job, but you never looked at it that way, right? We've got the Emperor up here at the top here. It's kind of this feeling that you were born to do this, but no one ever told you, that suddenly here you are being selected and being raised up, being lifted up by Spirit, by the team, by the whatever, people, friends, family, the company, I don't know. Suddenly you're being raised up to a position of power, of authority, right? And we've got to be able to deal with this in a it's a servant leadership, right? Leadership, hierophant, servant, okay? Servant leadership thing going on here. And again, it really depends on how confidently you handle all of this change. The Five of Pentacles, yes, it's like suddenly people are coming in and they're taking all of your stuff and moving it somewhere. Well, they're moving it to the best office in the building, but you're still like, hey, what are you doing with my stuff? It's like you've succeeded, but nobody told you yet. Just suddenly they're just pushing you into a room and saying, here's your new office, here's your new car, here's your new whatever, your new salary, right? Here's your new responsibilities. And we have to try to step into that role with confidence, but with caution, with a calm assertiveness, with creativity, with teamwork, with this servant leadership kind of energy. Now, going over to the path of the serpent, we got the star card. I think we're realizing that this is our destiny. And I don't know if this is a work thing, right? This is just kind of the metaphor that we're using. It might not be a work thing. This might be a purely spiritual thing. It might be a creative thing. It might be an artistic thing. It might have something to do with your career or the industry that you're trying to, or that you're working in. It's like suddenly, I don't know, maybe you're the sound guy, sound person on the movie, on the stage or whatever. And one day you wake up, you've got the lead role in the play or in the movie or in whatever production. And it feels like that. It feels like it's usually someone behind the scenes. You're just kind of quietly going through your day and doing that and trying not to complain too much. And the next thing you know, you are the star of the show. I'm really expecting maybe the magician or something as the mystery card. Suddenly, like, you're the one. Yeah. Overnight change. The star card is saying that, yeah, this is your fate and this is your destiny. And maybe Spirit has been trying to show you this all along, but you just haven't been noticing. Maybe, though, on the other hand, Spirit hasn't been showing you. I wonder if that could be true. I wonder if Spirit has instead been showing you what's going on within you. You've been doing a lot of internal work. What Spirit hasn't shown you is where that internal work is leading you out here in the kind of the external world. Right? And maybe that was by design. Maybe it's like we don't want to know what our fate is, because then human beings that we are, right, most of us anyway, we're going to spoil it. We're going to ruin it. We're going to do something. We're going to let the cat out of the bag, right? It's like someone says, okay, you're going to get $1 billion, but you can't tell anybody. You can't tell anybody until you get it. And then here we are trying not to say anything, but we just can't help it. We're going to run and tell our best friend, guess what? I'm getting $1 billion. It's an age-old myth, right? It's what happened to Orpheus, right? He was told not to look back. You look back. Come on, If they wouldn't have said anything to him, he wouldn't have looked back. But because that idea was planted in your head, then we're end up, again, human beings that we are, we're going to end up doing something to to thwart ourselves. So maybe Spirit had this kind of intentional thing where it's just like, I'm just going to let you go about your business, just do your thing, focus on your internal work, just focus on your studies, focus on your struggles, just do the best you can. And then when the time is right, bam, overnight change. We wake up and suddenly everything is different, right? It could be by design. Now we've got the Queen of Swords here. I think that this, while it is in the environment, and I think that this is something external to you, that is, I think Spirit is operating through another person in your life that is recognizing all the work that you've been putting in and is kind of the facilitator of some of this progress, some of this success, some of this kind of raising you up, this ascendance. But I think that this is also now your task, and that is to rise above all of the fire and earth over here, right? Rise above all of this change, all of this chaos and energy and stuff, and really see that bigger picture. And maybe you can see that, yeah, this was always what I've been working toward. I didn't really know it. And maybe if we look back to our past, to our memories, the Three of Swords is our memory. We look back to all those days in and days out of doing the same work over and over and over again, the monotony, right? Maybe we can see that, yeah, that really was leading somewhere, even though maybe at the time it just felt like this is my fate, this is what I'm destined to do, and it's just going to be the routine and whatever. But I think we can get that higher perspective. We can rise above the terrestrial circumstances and see that kind of bigger picture. Yeah. We can see what Spirit had in store for us all along. At the time, we just weren't aware of it. And then we get into, of course, that Libra energy, the Justice or the Adjustment card, and we're going to have to really approach life in a different way now. We're going to have to step into the servant leadership role, and it's going to take commitment. It's going to take a lot of choices. It's going to take you really evaluating, everything now. You're being put in charge of something major, and it's up to you to make sure everything balances out at the end. It's up to you now to make the choices that are going to preserve this. Someone gave you the keys to the kingdom and said, I hope you do the right thing. Yeah. And now we've got to figure out what that right thing is. This is the difficulty now. What do you do with all of this power and wisdom? How do you do what's best for the realm? How do you make the decisions how do you know whether you're making the right decisions? I mean, these are real Emperor Hierophant problems here. So in this new role of yours, you're going to have some difficult moments, weighing the options. And sometimes one option might be very obviously better than the others, but other times maybe the scales are pretty close, right? And maybe this is a situation where you're not going to be able to please everyone. Okay, and I think that this is where we get led into this Hanged Man energy. Because you are the servant leadership. You are the one in charge of everything. It all falls on your shoulders. So any decision you make, someone is going to be upset about it. There's the Hanged Man. Somebody is going to want your skin, We're always putting ourselves into this position when we have this kind of role now. You can't please everybody. Every decision you make, now, not everyone is going to understand why you made the decision that you made, and everyone's going to have their own opinions about it. Okay? And there's a certain steadfastness of the Emperor that you need. You need to be able to withstand people not liking you. The Hanged Man sometimes is the willing sacrifice, saying, yeah, I've made this decision, go ahead and throw your tomatoes at me. I can take it, you know. You have to have that ability to let people feel how they feel about what you're doing. Because there is no decision that's going to make everybody happy. You have to be willing to stand there and take your lumps, you know, to get the tomatoes thrown at you. And that's real Emperor Hierophant problem. Okay. Let's look at the mystery card. Let's see if that's the magician. It feels like a magician to me. If you have a prediction for this card, I want you to put it down in the comments. I'm just going to say magician. That's the vibe I'm getting. Oh, no. That's a 6. Pentacles. Now this is, let's say this is overnight success. Let's say suddenly you've been working on your music for just years and years and years, just doing your thing, grinding it out. Next morning you wake up, you're an international rock star, right? There's a certain risk to that as far as ego goes, yeah? This kind of sudden success, don't let it go to your head. Be the servant, be humble, be generous, okay? Now this is the real good problem to have. You have so much success that it's incumbent upon you to try to still be humble and gracious and express your appreciation and, you know, to share and to just be a gracious winner, right? Be a gracious winner. Don't let it go to your head. Yeah. We could be talking. I don't know what this is, honestly. I don't know. Maybe you're hitting the lottery. Maybe this is the promotion. Maybe this is suddenly getting like your art, your music or whatever, just blowing up, right? Suddenly. You wake up one morning, it's off the charts. You've gotta be able to make the right decisions for the benefit of the whole realm, right? So you have to make decisions that are going to be the right decisions for your business, your life, your family, your career, whatever this is. You've got to take it all into account and do what needs to be done. Not everybody's going to like it, right? But you're the boss now. You're in charge. You've got to make these tough decisions. And I think you're going to have a wealth and a success beyond anything that you expected in your life. We have to make sure it doesn't go to our head. Okay? And we look at this card and we just see somebody who is in the finest clothes, just kind of sauntering through the streets, just throwing money at people, right? And we don't want to be that guy, right? Make decisions that are going to express your gratitude, that are also going to preserve what you're doing. Because again, it's like a servant leadership, right? So I feel as if you have other people around you. There's a team here. You know, there are other people around you that you're now responsible for. There's maybe a bunch of employees or whatever it is. So be smart with how you handle the success, all right? Very good problem to have. We're going to do an extended reading too. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There is one down below. New readings for Gemini Monday and Friday. 6 a.m. Chicago time. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. Doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.